This is the conclusion of this story, and I pray that it gets to a friend of mine. I will not call his name, but we were seated one day in the past eating in a fast food joint. He told me that men are polygamous in nature. I was surprised to hear that from him. I asked him to tell me what informed that conception. He told me that his father is acting it. He said that his mother and his siblings got to understand it that way. They grew up to know that their father has side chicks and they are okay with it. I threw all my weight to make him understand that he has been wrongly informed, but all my effort was to no avail. I cry because every male child in that house is automatically growing up with such mentality. At the end of this story, I will open your eyes, but for now, let's continue. Look at Lucy, Mr. Desmond's pregnant side chick. She's out now for the real deal. When Mr. Desmond entered the bathroom, she picked his mobile phone and cleared all the money in his bank account. Remember, she told us she was pregnant. Now, the question is, was she really pregnant? Let's find out. What is she doing? She is about to give birth to deception. Many men have been deceived by this singular act of pregnancy. They have been deceived into marrying the wrong wives because of unwanted pregnancy, and homes broken because of this same issue of pregnancy, real pregnancy and fabricated pregnancy. And the question again is, who is to be blamed? The man or the woman? We will find out. After Lucy's safe delivery, she has to leave the hospital because no mother remains in the hospital after delivery. When Mr. Desmond came out of the bedroom, he started looking for Lucy. He called her name, but no one answered. He looked around and searched everywhere in the room, but he did not see Lucy. That was strange to him because since Lucy entered that house, she has never stepped out without him being aware. He became worried and decided to call her on the phone. When he picked up his phone to make the call, what he saw drove him crazy. He saw a huge debit alert in his phone. That was when he knew that the game has changed. He has been deceived and fooled. Everything happened within 2 months, and I asked, how did Lucy manage to hide the fake pregnancy from Mr. Desmond for that long? Of course, she must be master of such craft. In life, we learn from our mistakes. In life, what we believe in is what we become. Mr. Desmond's belief that men are polygamous in nature has really put his life in total disarray. He started thinking about someone, that woman. That true wife is like a footwear that covers and keeps your feet from being hurt by the sharpness of the sand. But it amazes me that only few sit down to remove their shoes with gentleness. Majority kick their shoes off their legs like they have been enemies. They only polish their shoes when they are in need to wear them. Mr. Desmond recalled how lovely and friendly his wife was to him. They would sit all day playing and chatting without getting bored. They were more like friends than husband and wife. No one has ever hidden anything from each other. Yes has always been yes and no has always been no. It was all beautiful until Mr. Desmond's belief came in and stole the joy in their home. If we are told in the Holy Bible that one man is to have one wife and to keep to her, and that one woman is to have one husband and to keep to him, that means that the idea of any man keeping a side chick in the name that men are polygamous in nature is unlawful and against God's marriage plan for us. Mr. Desmond, in his regrets, recalled how the wife left him because of the strange woman, Lucy. He wished he could turn back the hand of time, but Lisa has gone for 2 months. Again, his money is gone with Lucy, who is now nowhere to be found. Mr. Desmond remained unmarried, searching for Lisa for 6 months until one day he found her. He was happy he did. He knelt down explaining himself and begging for forgiveness. Unfortunately to him, Lisa has remarried and with a baby for another man. Mr. Newman came out and met Mr. Desmond. Mr. Newman was obviously thankful to God and to Mr. Desmond for breaking up with Lisa, which made him find her. She introduced Mr. Newman to Mr. Desmond as her God-given husband. Mr. Newman greeted Mr. Desmond and explained to him how caring and wonderful Lisa has been. It was not difficult for Lisa to get pregnant in Mr. Newman's house, unlike in Mr. Desmond's house, because in Mr. Newman's house, she found a home where she was able to have peace of mind. Mr. Desmond accepted his fate and shook hands with Mr. Newman, wished him well, and left. It is only when a man has no control over his urge that he will tell you that men are polygamous in nature. Remember that when there is intercourse, there is a soul tie. Please don't go around tying your soul with many women outside your home. And also remember that when there is intercourse, there is also a transfer of blessings or curses. Generational curses can be transferred, poverty can be transferred, and as well as sicknesses. It becomes a blessing when it is done according to God's plan, procreation between husband and wife. I pray for us to receive grace to have control over our urge. Please help us to pass this information around by sharing this video. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And make sure you turn on the notification bell for you to get our videos each time we post new videos. See you next Friday. Thank you for your support.